Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing amazing. I'm so happy you are here. You have just joined Leadership Prescription, Revitalizing Your Life Work Balance. And I'm really excited about this topic because it interests so many of you. I hear this over and over and over and over and over and over. I'm too busy. I can't seem to take care of usually the people I speak to are having trouble with balancing personal. A lot of the focus goes on the business and work side, but we're going to figure that out today. So in the next 10 minutes, I know you're super busy, but if you can stick with me these next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you a solid process that you can start using right now to bring more balance to your life and work. Okay? So the first thing, we're going to get right to it. We're not going to waste any time. Number one, knowledge is power. And we're going to collect data from the most important place of all, from you. I want you to ask yourself right now, how well am I doing in my business work life? On a scale of 1 to 10, ask yourself how you're doing in your business work life on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. And whatever it is, write it down. And if you're feeling like you want to share it in the comments, please do so. If you don't feel comfortable, that's not important. But just make sure you write it down. I'm doing this with you too. I'm doing really well in my work. And I'm giving myself a 9.25. Doing pretty well there. Okay, now, don't overthink this. Numbers fluctuate. We're just getting a snapshot for today. Now ask yourself, how well am I doing in my personal life? That includes your home, your health, your family, your friends, your community. That encompasses your personal life. How are you doing in your personal life on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Okay, this area I'm not doing as great in. I'm going to give myself a 5.61, and that's being generous. Okay. All right. I'm laughing at myself because I have to go out to the hundreds place. So number 2, this is really important. Now, I've asked you to assess how are you doing in your work? How are you doing with your personal life? Because we cannot improve that which we don't know how we're doing. Knowledge is power. So you've identified how you're doing work versus how you're doing in your personal life. What we want to even them out. We might never 10 in both areas, but we definitely don't want you to be a 10 in one area and then a 4 in the other. We want to balance it out. That's the goal. Okay. So for example, myself, I'm doing way better in my life and work than I am in my personal life. So there's a little bit of a disconnect there. So number 2 is I want you to look at the area you're doing better in. So whichever one you're doing better in. If you're doing better in your work business, you're going to look at that. If you're doing better in your personal life, you're going to look at that. And I want you to identify 3 reasons you're doing well in this area. Up to 3 reasons why you're doing, and the more specific, the better. Okay? You can have more than 3, but I want you to have at least 3. So what are 3 reasons you're doing really well in this area? And the more specific you can get, the better. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. And I'm always going to share myself as an example just so you understand what kind of information I'm encouraging you to find. So for me, I'm doing better in my I'm doing better in my work and business life. And when I look at what are the types of things that are contributing to my success, I mean, right away when I look at it, I put a lot of time into my business and work, a lot of energy. I plan. I am very diligent about my calendar, planning my day, assessing what went well, what didn't go so well. I'm tracking. I'm doing a lot. And as I'm thinking about it, this is why I want you to think about this. I'm realizing, well, no wonder I'm doing so well in that area. Okay? Because now we're going to take the answers and we're going to move to the next step. So you're going to ask yourself, you've asked yourself, which area are you doing better in? And then you've asked, what am I doing to do well in this area? And now I want you to think about how can you take the actions that are contributing to your success and bring it to the other aspect of your life. So for example, for me, how can I bring some of those things I just shared with you that I do in my work and business over to my personal life? And so now I'm really brainstorming, like, how could I bring more of that time, energy, planning, goal setting, tracking? I don't want you to get overwhelmed, okay? We're just brainstorming right now, and we're going to simplify it in just a moment. So again, that question is, how can I bring some of those actions and energy that are contributing to my success over to this other part that's not doing so well? All right, now we're at step number 4. You've collected a lot of information and a lot of data, and so that we don't get overwhelmed with all the information that we just received from ourselves, we're going to hone in on one small thing. So now I want you to ask yourself, based on everything you've just found out about yourself, what is one small thing, one small realistic thing you can do starting today to improve the area that you're not doing as well in? So whether it's your personal or your work business life, what is one small realistic thing you can do today? An emphasis on the small and realistic. This is not a time to be big and romantic and unattainable. We want small. Don't worry, if you complete that small thing, you can go to the next small thing. So no one's going to stop you. So for me, when I ask myself, based on all this information, what is one small thing I can do to improve in my personal life? Well, one thing I want to do is to take 5 minutes at the end of my day to look at what went well and what didn't go well, because that really helps me in my business and work life. That really supports my success. So that's going to be my small thing, is every day at the end of the day, I'm going to spend 5 minutes looking at my day at what went well and what didn't. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. Now, this leads me to step number 5, which is make that small action smart. And you notice I did that. It's because I'm just trained to do this, because I teach it and do it all the time. So instead of saying, oh, I'll spend more time or I'll do more, I made it smart. I told you that every night for 5 minutes before I go to bed, I'm going to look at my day and I'm going to notice what went well and what didn't go well in my personal life. I'm going to start there. Once I get that down, I'm probably going to add, anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's it. It's that simple. You can Bring more balance into your life. It doesn't have to be difficult. I want you to remember that knowledge is power. So start with assessing yourself. Don't overthink it. Just ask yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, how am I doing in my business work life? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how am I doing in my personal life? Remember, personal encompasses your health, your family, your community, your self-care, etc. And the area that you're doing well in, so we're at step number 2, you're going to look at what do I do? What am I doing that's helping me do so well? That will be very helpful to you to identify what are the skills that are contributing to your success. Number 3, you're going to ask yourself, how can I bring some of those actions and energy over to the part of my life that I want to improve in? And then number 4, what is one small realistic thing I can do starting today to improve this area of my life, whether it's your personal or your work? And make sure you write it smart. If you keep doing this one small thing until you're finding yourself more balanced, where you're doing equally well in your personal life as your business and work life, the quality of your life will improve. There's a lot of research that connects our well-being to having balance. So I hope you'll try this, and I look forward to getting feedback. Was this helpful? Do you have any questions? I'm happy to answer them either in the comments or message me. And I'm always looking for other ideas for these classes. So if there's something that you need help in, I bet others need help too. So let me know. If you found this helpful, please like and share it out with your network. Thank you so much. I am rooting for your success and wishing you nothing but the best.